Welcome to Introduction to Maya series. I am your instructor Rohan Page. In this video, we will see the animation workflow of bouncing ball. What will be our workflow? First, we will create the basic poses for bouncing ball animation to get the basic path of the animation, and then we will adjust the timing and graph editor for the better output. Let us start with the session. So let us start to create the basic setup for the bouncing ball. I'll first of all I'll with the help of polygons. Let us create a basic setup over here. I'm creating a base for this of the floor for the ball. Create a basic polygon sphere, and this will be our ball. So first of all, select all the objects, go to modify, freeze transform, rename these objects as floor and ball. You can give a basic texture for it, so like assign new material, I will apply fog, go to its attribute and apply ramp texture. So over here I'll just press 6 on your keyboard so that you'll be able to see the overall texture. I'll just change it to U ramp, so it will create a vertical one, and then go to interpolation and choose none. So just create like this, so you can see it is creating a very sharp kind of a ramp over here, multicolor ramp. So change the color according to your requirement. You can use any color. Okay, so this is a basic color for my bouncing ball. Just reduce the size a little bit. Go to side view. I need to rotate it to side 90 degree. Okay. So keep it at a particular height from where you want this particular sphere to be, get to fall on the floor. So select that sphere, freeze the transformations. The first thing which we need to do is to create the basic poses of this particular animation. So it will start falling, and then ultimately the as soon as the speed gets lower, the height also will get low. So according to that we will have to animate. So I'll just use 100 frames for now. Later on we can change it according to our requirement. Before starting to animate, make sure that your playback speed is real time 24 fps, and then also check that your auto key is turned on. So it is better to work like that. So now start with the poses. First of all, select this object, set the key, press S on your keyboard. Then, while animating a bouncing ball, we don't know what kind of timing we should give for this ball. That means what can be the distance between the keyframes. So first of all, we will give even keyframes for all the poses, and later on we will adjust the timing. So I'll be using a timing of around 8 frames. You can you can go back to the keyframe and front back with the help of less than and greater than button on your keyboard. So check it out how it is falling on the floor. Okay, now with the same spacing of the 8 frame, I'll move to the next keyframe. As it is a first bounce, there will be a lot of energy, and that's why it will bounce very well over here. Then go to the next keyframe. Now I want to get the same y-axis value, right? So what I'll do is I'll just copy this y-axis value, go back to 24 first of all, paste that y-axis so that it will get in contact with the floor, and then move it to get the arc. So first, second, third, fourth frame, we can later on adjust the distance. Add a little more bounce. Go to next frame, again paste it to get in contact with the floor, move it. Then again, as soon as it starts getting more bounces, the height will reduce, because of the speed and the friction what it is getting over there. Go to next frame, paste it. As you know that I am keeping the even distance between all the keyframes, and the even distance is 8 frames. Again reduce the height. Gradually I am reducing the height of this ball, and as soon as the height is less, the quick it will fall. That we will address at the time of um timing. So one by one I'm moving to the next keyframe and reducing the height, and as soon as the height is getting lower, it will fall nearby to the first position. Maintain the 8 frame distance over here. And little bit of drag. Okay. Right now, I have created all the main poses for this particular sphere. And if you'll play it, as the keyframes are placed on the even distance, there will be no timing basically in this. And you can see that there is no impact of any kind of a bounce or getting that bounce because of the floor. So we need to work on the timing. We have to work on the graph editor over here now. Okay, so first thing which we need to do before even adjusting the timing is to check the proper arc of this overall animation, whether my bouncing ball is following a proper arc. So how we can understand it, because there is no such kind of any visible arc over here which is going to display me, which is displaying me that okay, there is a problem over arc in any kind of a frame. So to identify the overall path or overall arc of my animation, we need to select that respective object, that is my bouncing ball. Go to animate. There is an option called as create editable motion trail. Go to the setup. Now there is a option of whether you want to see uh, this editable motion trail for the whole time slider, or you want to see it for any kind of selected span. So if you choose time slider, it is going to create a motion trail for the whole first to last keyframe. So as we know that we have animated from first frame to 160th frame, so I'll just mention the time range over here, that is start frame is the first frame, end is 160th frame, and hit create motion trail button. So you can see over here there is a path which is created over here, and which we can use to change the position of to get the proper arc. Now there are two ways. Either as you can know that over here I need to work with the spacing, over here I need to reduce the spacing, then you can go to that respective frame, you can change the position and the trail will get automatically updated. Or the second thing is you can directly go to the either go to that frame and move the object, or else you can see the white dots on that respective path, you can simply select that and you can move it, and it will modify the overall positioning of the selected object. So just use it to create a proper spacing according to your requirement of the animation. As soon as you are done with this whole spacing thing, you can simply select this motion trail and hit delete button on your keyboard. So now I have just worked on the path. Now it is time to work with the graph editor. To do so, there are two different ways to have graph editor in your scene. The first way is to go to window, animation editor, graph editor. So it will create, it will display the floating window of graph editor. So basically you will have to work or resize the window accordingly and then work simultaneously with the graph. So the other way, the good way is to go to panel of that respective view. There is an option called as layout. Click on this option of two pans stacked, so it will create two different views, one above each other. And over here I will change the bottom view, go to panel, and I want a graph editor over here in the bottom view. So simply you can use the spacebar button to choose to work with the graph editor, or else you can have both graph and your object. So basically in graph editor you will see the overall graph of the animated attributes of selected object. So the left side of the graph is nothing but works as an outliner. In this particular panel you will have the numbers at the bottom. There are few numbers, and these numbers are nothing but the time, displaying the frames on of your time slider. Whereas over here I'll just maximize the view. Whereas over here vertically you have the number, and this is a 0, there is a positive value in above and there is a negative value or down. So this is nothing but the if I'll select the translate y attribute, it is displaying me that how it is moving from negative to towards the positive axis. So basically horizontal numbers displays the frame numbers, whereas the vertical numbers displays you the positioning of the respective object in that axis, whether it is moving in positive axis or it is moving to the negative axis in the view. So if there is no animation, you are not going to get any kind of graph basically. So we have animated Y and translate Z only. You can see in translate Z we have the progressive animation, whereas in Y we have moved down and up and down, so it is creating such kind of graph. Okay, so now the first thing is to get with this respective bouncing ball thing is we don't feel any kind of hitting, ball is hitting on the floor. So it is looking like a very smooth kind of a get contact with the ball and the animation. There has to be a strong hit on the floor. So basically, select the sphere, go to translate y option. If you'll select the graph, you can see that all the keys gets highlighted, and all the keys which are placed over here and displayed in a black color. It also shows some kind of handle over here, right? I'll just go to near to any of the key. You can select that respective key with the help of left mouse button, and you can see that it has handle. Well, this is not a Bezier handle. This is called as tangent. This area you can select separately, and this area of the tangent you can select separately. This is in tangent, this is out tangent. Okay, so changing, if you make any kind of change in a graph like this, it is going to affect your animation over here. See, right over here you can see what kind of thing happened because of the graph change. So we need not to work on that, but basically all the tangents are having a smooth kind of a thing. Okay, so let me just explain you quickly how it works. Okay, so I'll open the paintbrush thing and I'll fill it up. If suppose that this is your graph, right, and these are the tangent, this is the key and this is the tangent. Okay, so if there is a more smoothness like this, if it is a more smooth curve, more flat tangent, it means animation, it means that it is coming like a slow out, then it will slow down, then again slow out. That means slow in, over here it is slow out, then more the smooth curve, more the slow animation will be. That means there will be slow out, getting slow in at the top, and then again slow out, and at bottom also from slow out, and smooth curve means slow in and again slow out. So more flat or more smooth the curve, that means there will be this, it is going to create a slow timing for that particular frame. So we don't want, we can have that slow thing at the top when the ball reaches at the top over here in animation. When it will hit the floor, I don't want it to be get slow in at the time of hitting the floor. It should be in speed coming from the upper side. But when it will reach to the top, it will gradually slow down. The energy, gravity will be pulling up that ball so that it will lose its energy, and again it will fall on the ground, right? So when it is falling, there should be slow out again at the time. When it will hit again, there will be slow out. There will be no slowing process at the time of the floor hitting thing. Whereas when it will reach to the top, it has to lose the energy and it will slow down and then again hit the floor. So how we can do that? So to do so, first of all, go to translate y, select all the bottom keys over here, and there are some tangents. So if you want to slow down the animation, we can use flat tangent. If you don't want any kind of slow in and slow out, then you will have to change this smooth curve into like this. Like suppose this is coming from the bottom, slow and fast, it should be sharp curve. Again, to have slow, smooth curve, and then again sharp curve, so that there will be no smooth. As you can see, the tangent will be like V-shaped tangent, no slow in, no slow, direct slow out, hit the floor, slow out. Okay, so let us do that. Select all the bottom keys and then change the tangent to linear. So now you can see that my graph is now V-shaped at the bottom. That means there is no slowing thing when it is hitting the floor. Just check it out what kind of difference it is creating. You can see now it looks like it is getting contact with the floor. Okay, the next thing, the important thing is timing. It is an even timing over here. We need to change the timing. So if the height is gradually getting lower and lower, as soon as the lower the height, it will hit the floor early. That means there should be uh, the fast animation at the time of end, as it is reaching towards the end. So to do so, how to change the spacing? If you want to slow down the animation, you can increase little bit of the distance between the keyframe. If you want to make give a better speed, or you want it a little bit fast, then reduce the distance between the keys. So how to work with it without, if I'll change only single key, it is going to change the difference between these three. So I want to first of all fasten up the bounce. 8 frame is too slow for me right now. So I'll just select all the keyframes from the 8th frame. Let me keep the distance between distance for the first two bounce like around 7 or 6 frames. 6 frames will be good. So 6 frame distance for first two bounce. Then select the next bounce, that is this one. Select all the keys, shift middle mouse drag, and move the time slot. So now 1, 6, 12. Again for the second bounce, 6 frames. It is on 12, that means 12 plus 6, that is 18. 18 plus 6, that is 24. Okay, so just check the speed of the first two bounce. Okay, for me it is good. The next bounce we will reduce by 1 frame only. So that means 6 frame distance was there for first two bounce. I will reduce the next distance for the bounce will be the 5 frame. That is 24, 30, and again next I'll go back and reduce the timing to 5 frame. 35, 40, 45, 50. Then reduce the next bounce to 4 frames distance. We are gradually changing it to 6 frame distance, then 5 frame distance, then 4 frame distance. That is, move the time slot to now the earlier previous keyframe is at 50. 4 frame distance means 54. 54 plus 4, that is 58. Then reduce it to 3. 58 plus 3, that is 61. 61 plus 3, 64. Then again reduce the distance to 2 frame. 64 plus 2, 66. Or else keep it to 3 only. Then 2 frame. This is 67 and 2, 69. Then 69 and 2, 71. 71 and 2, 73. 73, 75. 77, and let us have some larger distance, 77 and 10, that is 87. So 10 frame to slow down. Okay, right now what I have done is, for the first two bounds I have kept the timing of 6 frame distance. Then for the next two bounds I have reduced it to the 5 frame distance. The next frame I have reduced it to 4 frame distance between the keyframes, and gradually we have reduced to 3 and 2. So just play it out. Okay, now there is one problem over here. The problem is, there is no for the first two bounds it is still looking very slow. There is less energy over there, and ball is not getting slow at the top at all. So how to work with it? So I'll change the timing from 6 to 5 frame distance. Again reduce it a little bit with the next keyframe with 4. Okay, now this is okay for me. So it's adjusting the timing is all the way like playing around the timing, changing the spacing between all these keyframes. Okay, so right now my animation is ending around 79th frame. So I'll just keep it, rather than 165, I'll keep it to 100. Okay, now the thing is, I want to slow down this respective ball at the top. So it should, slow down so that it will look like it is losing its energy when it is reaching to the top, and gravity, because of the gravity, it is falling on the floor. So to do so, what we can do, as I said over here, the more smooth curve there at the key, the more slow animation will be. Now, if you'll go back to your graph editor, first of all, before making any changes, just save the scene. So now just go to graph editor. Now as you know that all the top of the keys are representing the top position of my sphere, or you can say ball. So now I can only, with the help of these tangents, I can only move them like this. I cannot increase this overall smoothness, or you can say I cannot broaden up this respective area. How I can just add little bit of more smoothness? To do so, we cannot use this kind of common tangent. We need to convert it into weighted tangent. To do so, first of all, select all graph, go to curve. There is an option over here at the bottom called as weighted tangent. So when I'll click over here, you can observe at this tangent, it is little bit shrinked and having a more width than the tangent, but still I am not able to do anything other than the moving the tangent. So how to increase, how to scale the area over there? To do so, you need to unlock this tangent weight. Select again all the keys on the graph, go to tangent, and there is an option called as free tangent weight. So as soon as I'll click on this, you can see that is now represented with little bit of square option, and if I'll select it and middle mouse move, you can see it is increasing and decreasing the overall weight of that respective curve. So if I am making it less, that means it is going to create direct slow out over here, as we have done for the bottom value or bottom position. So to increase the smoothness, just hold shift, middle mouse, and drag. It will increase the overall smoothness of the curve, and it will slow down that respective thing at the position. So if you play it, you can observe it, the difference, slow and getting slowed at this respective top, right? So now just start working over there. Select it, shift middle mouse, increase the smoothness. But as soon as it is reducing, it's getting height is getting lower, then there will be no that much of slowdown. So I'll be reducing a little bit, adding little bit of smoothness, not all the time the same smoothness. Okay, for this one I need not to add more, just play it out. Okay, now you can see that I'm having that effect of you know falling on floor than the before. If you want to slow down more at the start, you can just go to first curve of it, increase the smoothness, right? Right. Now at the end, as you can see, overall timing is good, but at the end it still need to be slowed down. But before that we will start working on rotation, and then we will slow down the end, because it is suddenly the slide looking like a slide and it is a bit fast. So how to work with it? So let us see how we can work with it. Just select the ball, adding a rotation over here. So I'll just keep it like this. It is falling over here. If you want to see the motion trail, you can again see the motion trail with the first and 79th frame. Okay, so keep it like this. Now go back to fifth number. I'll just make it like this. Check out how it works. Okay, go back to next frame, go to next frame, and I will rotate it like this. A horizontal I'll keep like this. So ball is spinning with the bounce like this. Just add this progressive rotation according to the its position throughout the animation. and I'll add a little bit of animation of one rotation and increase the distance. Okay, now just check it out. I'll just delete this motion path. At the end it is fast. Now we need to slow down the rotation and overall translation over here. It should gradually come to slow and stop, right? It is looking like it is getting the acceleration at the end of the animation. So how to work with it? With the help of weighted tangent, of course. I'll just stop it, select the sphere, go to your tangents. In translate Z, because it is moving in translate Z in horizontal direction, like select the keys, go to curves, weighted tangents, go to the last frame because I need not to slow down anywhere in throughout the animation but the last. Select it, go to tangent, free tangent weight, select and increase the tangent weight at the last. See what is happening. Okay, now slowing down, but the rotation we need to add slow down. So select it, select the rotation of respective axis, that is X, select it, go to curves, weighted tangent, free the tangent weight and add the weight. So I will just increase the distance between the keyframes, like this is 68, increase it to 20, that is 88. You can simply delete one bounce if you want, just check it out. Or else you can add a little bit of bounce over here. Go to the translate, press F to frame the selection, select all the bottom keys, just make sure those are linear tangents. I can increase the distance again, 76 and 20, that is 96. Okay, now it is good. Right. I'll just reduce the floor till this portion only. Okay. So this is how we can work with it. Now how to see the overall timing of this respective animation, because this kind of animation we are watching over here in the view. To see the basic video of this respective animation, what you can do is first of all set the camera, go to create camera, look through selected, turn on this key resolution gate and all, go to its attribute editor. There is an rollout called as display option. In display option I'll change the gate mask opacity to 1 and the color to black, so like that you can you know concentrate on this area. Or else simply I'll go back to perspective, move it down, or you can increase it like this. So in camera view it will look like a proper floor. Save the animation. To see it in a video format, you can simply right click on the timeline, go to play blast, make sure the quality is complete 100, format is AVI, and scale it is like what kind of, if it is a 50 it is going to reduce, it will take the video of this particular view and reducing the 50% of the size of this respective view. I want a complete view size of this thing. Either you can choose the display from the window size, whatever the size of the window, take the video from video size of this window and create a video. Or else you can use render setting. If you are using any HD 720 or full HD kind of thing, in render setting you can get that size also. So right now I'm using window. I want to save the file. I'll just save the play blast file on the desktop as bouncing ball in the AVI format and take a play blast. Press Ctrl spacebar and you will get to, okay, let us see what problem has occurred over here. Right click, play. Oops. I'll reduce the quality 70. Let us see by reducing the quality. I'll just say play blast. Okay. Okay, now I have just reduced the quality. Now it is playing very well over here. So now this is how you can get I'll just repeat it. So this is how you can get the video of your basic video of your animation to check it out with the timing. Now in this way we have seen how we can create a bouncing ball animation in Maya. So with the help of it you can play with the timing, and you can make a balloon bounce, or else a bounce of the any other object, heavy metal ball, or any kind of a water balloon like that. So this is how you can work with the animation, and let us see what we have learned in this video. What we learned in this video: we have seen that first, to start with the animation, first we have blocked out the main poses for bouncing ball to see the path of animation. Then we have adjusted the timing. We have also worked with the graph editor by using flat tangent. We have converted the tangents in the weighted tangent so that we can slow down that ball at the top. And then we have also used linear tangent type to avoid slow in and slow out at the bottom part, so that it will look like ball hitting the floor because of the gravity. So for any query, you can follow me on Facebook. You can write me an email on rohan.pageanimator@gmail.com. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, that is Rohan Page, or else you can join the classroom with the following code. Thank you.